Alright, so using factors to sketch. Alright, this is going to be part 2. Part 1, if you remember, we just did the factoring. So now we're going to see how this all ties into our parabola. Okay, so this looks familiar, hopefully. Alright, this is where we're going to do the line of symmetry, the vertex, and the y-intercept, but we're also going to add the x-intercept. Alright, so the first thing again we have to do is identify our A, B, and C. So if y equals this, my A in this case is going to be 1. Okay, my B is going to be 6. And then my C is going to be 8. So just like we did before, we have x equals the opposite of b over 2a. So the opposite of 6 would be negative 6 over 2 times 1, so that'd be negative 3. So x equals negative 3 is our line of symmetry. All right, difference from before is now we're actually going to graph it. So x equals negative 3, that means our line of symmetry is right here. So our parabola folds somewhere on that line. Well, folds on that line, and our vertex is somewhere on that line. So if you remember how to do the vertex, we take the original equation, and wherever there's an x, we're going to replace it with negative 3. Oops, don't need a parenthesis there. So that'd be 9 minus 18 is negative 9, plus 8 is negative 1. So my vertex is at negative 3, negative 1. So there's my vertex. Then we're going to do the y-intercept. Okay, we can do the long way or the short way. Long way is to take the original equation, put 0 in where x is, get our 8 is 0, 8. Short way, remember, is just to look at whatever your c is. Okay, so 0, 8 is our vertex. Sorry, it's our y-intercept. All right, now the next thing we're going to find is we're going to see where it crosses this x-axis. So it's going to cross in 2 places. You can kind of see where it's going to be. The way we found it exactly where it is we factor that original. Okay, this is why we did all that practice yesterday on the factoring. Okay, so we've got x and x. We've got plus and plus, and then we've got 8 and 1 or 4 and 2. Well, the ones that are going to get me 6 is 4 and 2. And then we're going to set that equal to 0. And then we're going to split it. Okay, so we've got x plus 4 equals 0, or x plus 2 equals 0. So if we remember, we just solved. So negative 4, 0 is one of my x-intercepts. And negative 2, 0 is my other x-intercept. So negative 4 and negative 2. So right here and right here. And then we just go ahead and we graph that. Okay, and we're done. That's what I'm looking for. We're looking for the line of symmetry, the vertex, the 2 x-intercepts. Could be 1, I suppose, depending on our graph, and then our y-intercept. So let's try another one. All right, so on this one, our A is 1, our B is negative 1, and our C is negative 6. So opposite of B over 2A. So opposite of negative 1 is 1, over 2 times 1 is just going to be a half. So my line of symmetry is x equals a half. So I wanted to do this one because there are some that are going to have an odd number here, which is going to get us different answers than we've had before. Was it negative a half? No, it was positive a half. So on my line of symmetry is right here. Okay. Then I'm going to do my vertex. Okay, so y equals, we want a half squared minus a half minus 6. Now if you want to, because it's half, we could just make that decimals and make it 0.5 squared. However you'd like to do it. Pop it in the calculator. You can even put the fractions in the calculator if you do the 1 divided by 2. So however you want to do that. Otherwise a half squared is a fourth. A 4th minus a half would be negative a half, so negative a half minus 6 would be negative 6 and a half. Oops, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Okay, so, I thought it was 6 1/4. Give me a second here. Let's double check that. So we've got 0.5 squared minus 0.5 minus 6. Yep, it is negative 6 1/4. Sorry about that. All right, so we get positive a half and negative 6 1/4. So negative 6 1/4. So just kind of put it about there, close enough. Okay. Y-intercept, short one is just to take our c, so it's 0, negative 6. So it crosses here. And then we do our factoring. That's going to factor to, let's see, we want 6 and 1, or 3 and 2. Well, 3 and 2 when I subtract is going to get me my 1, so it's going to be minus 3 plus 2. Set it equal to 0, split it. So my x-intercepts, well, all right, I'll do the work. So 0 equals x minus 3, add the 3. So we have 3, 0, and negative 2, 0. So negative 2, 0, 3, 0. We got that, we got that, we got all of them. Okay, so negative 2, 0, and 3, 0. Here and here. So it comes down, goes to my vertex, and then it goes back up through those points. And I'm looking for exactness. Okay? So we're looking, I want to see those 4 points for sure. All right, I've got 2 more on this sheet. Go ahead and try those first, and then we'll see where you're at.